China continue to deteriorate.
Chancellor Angela Merkel is marking 15 years since she became Germany's first female head of government. As she enters her final year of office, her popularity is high, with surveys showing that more than 70% of Germans approve of her handling of the coronavirus crisis. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Lily McGovern on the BBC World Service, and this is BBC OS, Conversations about Coronavirus. As many countries are experiencing further outbreaks of COVID-19, we hear about the increasing number of physical threats for women in 3 Latin American countries, and hear the opposing views on Sweden's treatment of the pandemic up until now.
I think we have lost our humanity in this debate. We have lost our dignity and our morale. I mean, how many lives is it worth going to a nightclub?
The pandemic has killed more than 1 million people across the world, and the number of confirmed cases now exceeds 55 million. Medical health professionals have been at the front line of this disease for the best part of a year now. And for many, the resurgence of cases is an unwelcome reality after such a distressing and stressful first wave, especially in America. This is how Lieutenant Paramedic Anthony Almagiera, who's also Vice President of the Fire Department of New York's Emergency Medical Services Officers Union, felt back in April.
It's very scary because now you're walking out into this war zone going against an invisible enemy. You know, I get these messages from people, I've been drinking too much, I'm unable to sleep. This past weekend, I had somebody call saying they wanted to kill themselves. So the visceral impact on people is very tangible. And we try and look for each other the best we can because it's all we got.
Unfortunately, New York's daily death toll from the coronavirus has just reached its highest number in 6 months, and orders have been given to close all public schools there. We caught up with Anthony again, and my colleague Chloe Tilley discovered that for paramedics like him, it's a difficult situation to face again.
You know, listening to those words, I remember my thought process then was thinking, well, okay, we're going through it now. In a few months, we'll be okay. And as you and your listeners know around the world, America is not okay. We're breaking records every day with infection rates. Even here in New York City, so we had a pretty good handle on it. It seems to be spiking again. The EMTs and medics have been reporting to me that they're getting more and more of the calls again. People complaining of COVID symptoms. The death rate has gone up. It's tough to hear that about somebody calling me to commit suicide. In our workforce at EMS here, in the Emergency Medical Service and the Fire Department, unfortunately, we've had 4 people commit suicide so far. 4 EMTs and medics and 1 officer, 1 lieutenant. And I'm afraid with a second and maybe even a third wave, who knows, there'll be more of that. I learned that more and more cases coming. It's tough to hear me speak in the past there and realize we're still going through it.
And that's the worrying thing, isn't it? There are medics all around the world who are on their knees. They haven't been able to recover from that first wave. 280,000 cases, over 24,000 deaths in New York. How are you and other frontline medics coping and preparing yourselves for what could be a difficult few months ahead?
Unfortunately, due to the nature